Welcome to the KEP Knowledge English Podcast. I'm your host, James Rivers, and I'm thrilled to have you join us on this journey of learning and discovery.
And I'm Sophia Wells. Whether you're looking to improve your English skills or dive into insightful discussions on a range of topics, you're in the right place.
Here on KEP, we explore everything from language learning tips to thought-provoking conversations that will challenge your perspective and expand your knowledge.
Each episode will bring you fresh insights, practical advice, and a little bit of fun along the way. So grab your headphones and let's get started.
This is KEP Knowledge English Podcast. Let's dive in. Hey everyone, welcome back to the show. Today, we're diving into something pretty wild. Learning English while you sleep. Yeah, you heard that right. Sleep and learning together. It almost sounds like science fiction.
I know, right? I was half expecting you to say we're going to beam English straight into our brains like in the Matrix. But hey, if it works, I'm all in. Imagine studying all day and then letting your brain keep working while you dream. Talk about efficiency.
Totally. But before we start planning our sleep study sessions, let's get real for a second. Sleep is kind of mysterious. We all do it, but not many people stop to think about what's actually going on in our brains when we're out cold.
Yeah, and it's not like your brain just flips the off switch. Nope, it stays pretty busy, even when you're snoring away. Crazy to think your brain has this whole nighttime routine while you're catching some Z's.
Exactly. Think of your brain as this super dedicated night shift worker. During the day, it's learning and taking in new stuff, like English words and grammar rules. But at night, it switches gears to process all that information, making sense of it and filing it away.
So, it's like when you clean up your room. You spend all day tossing things around, and then at night, you tidy up and organize everything so it's ready for the next day. Except your brain is tidying up your memories and learning instead of socks and shoes.
Perfect analogy. And here's the really fascinating part. Your brain has different stages of sleep, and some of those stages are better at processing memories than others.
Like deep sleep and light sleep, I heard that during deep sleep, your body does the heavy lifting, resting, and healing, but your brain is still working hard behind the scenes.
Right. Deep sleep is where your brain moves stuff from short-term memory to long-term memory. It's like when you save a file on your computer so you don't lose it. Then there's light sleep, which is a bit lighter. Your brain is more alert and can actually notice sounds.
Whoa! So even when we're asleep, our brain can hear stuff? Like when your phone rings and you wake up? Or when someone talks to you and you sort of remember it?
Bingo. That's why some people think listening to English while you sleep might help your brain keep absorbing vocabulary or phrases. It's not like you're fully awake, but your brain can still pick up on certain sounds and patterns.
Hmm, that's pretty wild. So you're saying the brain is multitasking in sleep mode, healing the body, organizing memories, and also maybe learning English? That's like having a superpower.
It really is. But here's the catch. Not all sleep is equal for learning, and it's not as simple as just playing an English audiobook and waking up fluent.
Ah, so no magic overnight fluency. Got it. But if the brain's that active, maybe sleep can give us a little boost.
That's the hope. We'll get into how it works, what it can do, and how you can try it out yourself because, honestly, who wouldn't want to improve their English a bit while catching some well-deserved rest?
I'm already picturing myself dreaming in English, or maybe ordering coffee in perfect English in my dreams. All right, James, let's break down the science and get to the bottom of this sleep learning thing.
Let's do it. Ready for some brain facts and sleep secrets? Stay tuned. We're just getting started. All right, Sophia, let's get into the nitty gritty. What's really happening inside our brains when we're asleep? It's way more than just resting, right?
Oh, definitely. People think sleep is just shutting down, but it's like the brain has its own secret agenda at night. It's working behind the scenes, even if we're completely out cold.
Right. So there are different stages of sleep, and each one has a special job. For example, deep sleep is like the brain's repair shop. Your body relaxes and heals, but the brain is busy sorting through everything you learned during the day.
Sort of like cleaning out your inbox and filing emails, huh? I imagine my brain going, okay, James, which memories and facts do we want to keep and which ones can go?
Great. And deep sleep is where your brain saves those important things into long term memory. So if you studied English during the day, deep sleep is when your brain's like, all right, let's lock this in for good.
That's pretty cool. So your brain isn't just dumping info randomly, it's actively deciding what to keep.
Yes, it's super selective. But then there's light sleep. This stage is interesting because your brain isn't as deeply offline as in deep sleep. It's more aware of the world around you, like when you hear your alarm or someone calling your name.
So even if I'm snoozing, my brain's still kind of listening. That explains why I sometimes wake up when my cat knocks something over.
Yeah, and here's the kicker. That ability to hear sounds during light sleep is why scientists think sleep learning might work. Your brain can pick up simple words or phrases without you being fully awake.
Whoa! So if I play English words softly while I'm dozing, my brain might catch them. That's kind of mind blowing.
It is. But it's important to remember this isn't like active studying. Your brain is relaxed, not fully focused. So it's mostly picking up simple sounds and patterns, not mastering complicated grammar or conversations.
Makes sense. So basically, deep sleep helps store what you already learned, and light sleep lets your brain eavesdrop a bit. It's like your brain's running a two-shift system.
Perfect way to put it. And knowing this helps us understand why sleep learning isn't magic, but it can be a helpful tool to support your English journey.
Yeah, I love that. Sleep is already awesome for your health, and now it might help your English too. That's a win-win.
Absolutely. So, next up, we'll dig into the question everyone's asking. Can you really learn English while you sleep? Spoiler, there's some good news.
Ooh, I can't wait to hear it. Stay tuned, folks.
All right, Sophia. Now we get to the big question everyone's curious about. Can we actually learn English while we sleep? What do you think?
Hmm. I'm a little skeptical. I mean, I'd love to just pop on some audio and wake up speaking like a pro. But come on, it sounds too good to be true, right?
Yeah, it's definitely not that simple. The truth is, science says your brain can process and strengthen things you learned while awake, but it can't magically teach you everything overnight.
So you're saying sleep learning isn't like a superhero power where you instantly become fluent just by listening?
You're right. It's more like your brain is reviewing and filing away info it already got during the day. This process is called memory consolidation. Think of it as your brain's way of hitting the save button on new words or phrases.
Oh, that makes sense. So if I learned some English words during the day, my brain can use sleep to remember them better?
Bingo! And not just words. Simple listening skills can improve too. Your brain still hears sounds during light sleep, so exposure to English can help you get used to the language's rhythm and patterns.
I love that. Like when you hear a song a bunch of times before you actually learn the lyrics. At first, it's all gibberish, but eventually you start recognizing words and phrases.
That's so true. Sleep learning is a bit like that. It's not about mastering grammar or having deep conversations while you snooze, but it can help your brain pick up vocabulary and improve listening comprehension little by little.
So it sounds like sleep learning is more of a sidekick than a hero. It supports your daytime efforts, but it won't replace studying or practicing.
Perfectly put. Active learning, like speaking and grammar study, still needs your full attention when you're awake. Sleep learning is like your brain's backup crew, working behind the scenes to keep things fresh.
I like that. It's like having a little assistant helping you out while you rest. But the real work still happens when you're conscious and focused.
Right. And one more thing, everyone's brain is a bit different. Some people might notice more benefit from sleep learning, others less. So it's worth trying, but don't get discouraged if it's not instant magic.
Good point. So the takeaway is sleep learning can boost your memory and listening skills, but don't expect to become fluent overnight. It's a helpful tool, but it's not a shortcut.
Correct. Use it as part of your bigger learning plan. And that's where we come in. Next, we'll talk about how to set up your own sleep learning routine so you get the most out of it.
Awesome. I'm ready to set up my bedtime English playlist. Let's do this.
All right, Sophia. Now that we know sleep learning can actually help, how do we make it work? What's the best way to set up a sleep learning routine?
Great question, James. First things first, you got to pick the right material. It can't be complicated or super fast. Your brain needs simple, clear English to soak in while you sleep.
Absolutely. Think about vocabulary lists with words you're trying to learn, or short, slow conversations. Even positive affirmations work great. Those simple, encouraging phrases like, I'm improving every day.
I actually love that. Like telling yourself, I got this while you snooze. That's some next level motivation. Oh, and recording your own voice can help too. Hearing your own voice might make it easier to remember.
Good tip. Now let's talk environment. Your bedroom should be cozy and quiet, but don't be afraid to use headphones or speakers. Just keep the volume really low. We're not trying to blast a concert here.
Yeah, nobody wants to wake up with a headache. And if you can, try using those special sleep headphones. They're super comfy and won't bother you when you're lying down.
Timing is also key. Start your audio just as you're about to fall asleep. Around 30 minutes to an hour is perfect. Long enough to let your brain catch the sounds as you drift off and get into deep sleep.
Makes sense. You don't want the audio to keep playing all night or disturb your rest. Quality sleep matters just as much as learning.
Definitely. And here's the golden rule: consistency. Listen every night if you can. Your brain needs time to get used to this routine and slowly absorb the English sounds.
Yep, like anything worth doing, it takes practice and patience. Don't expect miracles after one night. Think of it as planting seeds that grow over time.
Perfect analogy. Also, you can turn this into a relaxing bedtime routine. Start with some calming music or a peaceful story in English to help you wind down. Then play your learning audio as you fall asleep.
Oh, and one more tip: avoid screens before bed. The blue light from phones and tablets can mess with your sleep. So ditch the phone, get comfy, and let your brain do its thing.
Exactly. And don't forget to track your progress. Write down new words you think you've picked up, or notice if your listening gets better during the day. Seeing progress keeps you motivated.
Love that. Keeping a little journal or notes makes it feel real. Plus, it's fun to look back and see how far you've come.
So, to sum up, pick simple audio, set a cozy environment, play it just before sleep, be consistent, and track your progress. That's the recipe for making sleep learning work.
Sounds doable. Who knew improving English could be part of your bedtime routine? I'm definitely trying this tonight.
Okay, Sophia, before everyone gets too excited, let's talk about what sleep learning won't do. It's important to keep expectations realistic.
Absolutely, James. I don't want anyone waking up tomorrow thinking they're going to speak perfect English like a native. That'd be pretty disappointing.
Right? Sleep learning isn't a magic wand. You won't become fluent overnight just by playing audio while you snooze.
Yeah, it's more like a helper, not the whole package. So if you're hoping to learn complicated grammar rules or start chatting like a pro in your dreams, sorry to burst your bubble.
For sure. Complex stuff like grammar or sentence structure needs focused attention during the day. Your brain can't figure that out on autopilot while you're asleep.
Plus, learning to speak actually takes practice, like talking to people, making mistakes, and getting feedback. That kind of active learning needs your full brain power awake and ready.
Right on. And another thing, sleep learning isn't the same for everyone. Some people might notice it helps them remember new words or get used to sounds, while others might not feel much difference.
So if you try it and don't see instant results, don't get discouraged. Your brain is unique and sometimes it just takes longer or works differently.
Yeah, patience is key. Sleep learning should be just one tool in your English toolbox, not the only one.
Spot on. It works best combined with reading, speaking, writing, and listening during your waking hours. Think of it as a little boost, not the whole engine.
Good analogy. And sometimes people expect too much too fast. Then they get frustrated and quit. Remember, language learning is a marathon, not a sprint.
So true. Celebrate those small wins like understanding a new word or catching a phrase in a movie without subtitles. Those moments add up.
Totally. And sleep learning can support that progress, but don't rely on it alone. It's a helpful sidekick, not the main hero of your learning story.
I love that. A sidekick. I'm definitely calling my sleep playlist my little superhero assistant from now on.
Perfect. So, the takeaway is don't expect instant fluency. Don't count on mastering grammar in your sleep, and don't put all your eggs in the sleep learning basket.
Instead, use it as a fun, relaxing tool to reinforce what you're already learning during the day. Keep active, stay patient, and enjoy the journey.
Yeah! Next up, we'll share some final tips and motivation to help you make the most of your sleep learning adventure.
Awesome! Can't wait to wrap this up on a high note.
All right, Sophia, we've covered a lot today. Before we wrap up, let's share some final tips and motivation to help everyone keep going with their sleep learning journey.
Sounds good, James. First off, I'd say patience, people. Learning a language isn't like instant coffee, it takes time, and that's totally okay.
Absolutely. Sometimes progress feels slow, but every little step counts. Think about it like planting a garden. You don't see flowers the day after you plant seeds, but with care, they grow.
Love that. And consistency is the secret sauce. Even 20 or 30 minutes every night can make a huge difference over time. Your brain will get better and better at picking up English sounds.
Yes, and don't forget to combine sleep learning with active practice during the day. Speaking, reading, writing, these are the muscles you got to work out actively.
Definitely. Sleep learning is like your brain's backup crew, but you're still the star player during the day. So make sure to get out there and use your English whenever you can.
And here's a tip. Try making your sleep learning part of a relaxing bedtime routine. Play some calming English podcasts or soft music. Then switch to your English learning audio as you drift off.
Yeah, it's a great way to wind down and learn at the same time. Plus, avoiding screens before bed helps you sleep better, which makes everything easier.
Another thing, try using positive affirmations. Listening to encouraging phrases like, I'm improving every day can boost your confidence, and your brain loves positive vibes.
Totally. I try that myself. It feels like giving your brain a pep talk while you snooze. Who wouldn't want that?
Also, keep track of your progress. Write down new words you remember or note when you understand more English during the day. Seeing progress keeps you motivated.
For sure. Sometimes we forget how far we've come until we look back. It's super encouraging.
And finally, believe in yourself. Learning a language is a journey with ups and downs. Celebrate the small wins, stay patient, and keep going.
That's the spirit. And hey, remember to enjoy the process. Learning English doesn't have to be a chore, it can be fun, relaxing, and rewarding, even while you sleep.
Thanks so much for listening today. We hope you feel inspired to try sleep learning and add it to your English practice toolkit.
Yep, sweet dreams and happy learning, everyone. Catch you next time.